Hey everybody, so this is my first YouTube video. I am new to these YouTube streets, but I wanted to get on because I was an avid watcher of All About the Tea. I watched the daytime show and I watched the nighttime show with the panel with Bishop, Plez, Marcella, and Schoolboy. So I've been seeing everybody's videos and them kind of weighing in on the situation where it comes to plays. And I just wanted to come on and give my 2 cents. So, from the start of the panel, I don't know if anybody really paid attention, but Plez, I don't think the avatar ever really liked Plez, to be honest with you. The only reason why Monica actually let Plez on the show, allegedly, in my opinion, which just seems like that's what we got to say these days, that's the only reason why she let her on the show is because Monique said, Monique from Housewives of Potomac made the comment that she loved Plez's commentary. Okay, so the whole breakdown of Plez, I, in my heart of hearts, knew was inevitable. It was going to happen eventually because I felt like Monica was always jealous of her. And the reality of the situation is the more that you don't show your face, so people can't connect with you as well as they do with someone that they see. Because people that you see, you feel like you can connect with them more, right? So I feel like that's where the breakdown, so to speak, comes with Monica. And she will always need a panel, especially at this point, because Homegirl just refuses to apologize to Plez. I feel like literally, if she had have just apologized to Plez sincerely, okay, let's be clear, sincerely apologize to Plez, then I feel like her show would still be going. She could have easily replaced the panel. Maybe some of Bishop and Schoolboy and Marcella actually would have stayed. That's just my opinion. Okay. So I took a couple notes. I don't know if y'all paid attention to a lot of these videos, and there's a lot of people out here talking about this whole situation and kind of giving their opinion on what happened. But as a person that was faithfully watching those lives day in and day out. Now, sometimes I had to get off because I think they were way too damn long. In my opinion, like being on when I found out she was only paying them $200 and $300 for the month, which I get it. If you go on a panel, you shouldn't be expected to be paid. However, to expect someone to be on live every single night like that's ridiculous and borderline slavery, in my opinion. Okay. So I did take some notes when Monica was ranting and raving and kind of getting angry. And then when she did her follow up interview with the pastor lady that was previously in a relationship with Pastor Bryant, I think it made it worse for her. And you can definitely see that the pastor woman was on Monica's side. She was literally just agreeing, like basically forming the questions in Monica's favor, which was really, really messed up. So they talked about how she talked about how they were ungrateful, how the panel was ungrateful that she helped them to gain subscribers. Okay. So if you go back to Monica's channel before it, well, unfortunately, we can't see that now, but if you looked at the channel, All About the Tea channel, way before she had the panel, so to speak, she did not have nearly as many followers as she had. Monica had over 100,000 subscribers, but that's because she acquired at least, I want to say, at least half plus of that from having the panel. Okay. Now, she did have a good chunk of followers by herself, but the lion's share of those followers came to her because of the panel. Okay, because people can connect with them, they can see those individuals, and then it was not just her opinion, it was other people's perspectives as well. And then they kind of felt like they could connect with them because these are real people, they weren't celebrities. It's like me and you just kind of giving our commentary on what we thought about reality TV shows, and then you kind of feel like you have somebody that watches the shows right along with you. gives their opinion. Okay. So number one, she tried to act like she made them, talking about how they were ungrateful. She helped them, let them use her platform to gain followers, whatever the case may be. Um, the Wiley guy was really, really confusing to me. He talked about um, they talked about being a man of the cloth and degrading women, all those different things. Talked about Plez crying and attorneys shouldn't cry. Let me go right stop her right there. So because if I'm an attorney, that means I shouldn't have emotions. So now I'm not human because I'm educated and I have several degrees and I'm an attorney. That is all types of backwards and stupid, by the way. Okay. Um that really hugely turned me off when she said that. Like, absolutely, absolutely ridiculous and asinine. Like, you are really, if I could see you, you probably look like an ass because you're acting like one by saying some stupid shit like that. Attorney shouldn't cry. Says she was basically saying that Plez was trying to get sympathy. Plez was showing people that it really hurt her that somebody that she trusted as much as she did with, because you have to have a level of trust, especially being an attorney, putting your face on the internet where anybody can search these things and find you and see what you're doing. So you put a level of trust in this person to have some type of connectivity to your identity and allowing them to create a sort of scenario of you, which it seems like Monica has done. She's tried to make Plez look like the bad guy in the situation, which this is just a big case of jealousy on Monica's end. I feel like Monica is, in my opinion, hugely jealous of Plez. Okay, because Plez was very, she was very charismatic. She was quick-witted. Like, homegirl can read down. Okay, she was going through them shows, giving her opinions, and it was very engaging. Nobody really gave a shit about that stuff Monica was saying, and Monica most of the time was very negative. um to me, the energy was very negative, in my opinion, especially when she was talking about when she got to the Ti and Tiny stuff. She just really lost me because, everybody may be different, contrary to how others may believe. I like Ti and Tiny. I pray that they did not do any of these things. However, if they did, they should be punished. I feel anybody that commits a crime should be punished. However, I'm not going to condemn these people until there is hard facts and evidence out there. And I feel like at times Monica would be pissed if people didn't agree with her. And I would even see in the comments where stuff was just getting deleted as it was being said. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So let me get back to my notes about this little interview with the pastor. So, and Monica said Plez used to use, like she said, she used tears and prior events and grievances to manipulate others to subscribe to her channel, which is false. People subscribe to Plez's channel because we loved her commentary on the show. Now, Plez also does these other things where she has singing Sundays, things like that. She's trying to create her own audience. Okay. I don't get from her that she's like an avid reality TV watcher. Like, I think she likes her specific shows and then that's it. Other than that, Plez is going to do what Plez is going to do. Okay. So, and if you want to watch her, you watch her. If you don't, you don't. And I think that she's okay with that. That's just my opinion. Okay. So I don't think that Plez was trying to get any grievances or, trying to get people to feel bad for her. I think she was literally giving her side of the story. Okay. And then Monica said, she said Monica was the blame for Plez being a spotlight throughout her life, which she was uncomfortable with. Oh, Plez talked about always, like, she doesn't like to be the center of attention. Like, she, as a child, grew up, she was good at things and people acknowledged it, but it always made her uncomfortable. And Monica kind of played on that. She was saying, well, that's not my fault that, she's uncomfortable with being like that. That's not what she was saying. She was saying that this whole situation with All About the Tea is yet another situation where now the spotlight is on her and she's yet again uncomfortable. And unfortunately, this time it's negative. She's being made to look negative and she doesn't like it, which nobody wants to look negative in a situation, especially when you trusted these individuals. You stepped out of your comfort zone to, get on YouTube and talk about this commentary because you like these shows, and then this just kind of spirals into something crazy. And then she says Bishop left because he wanted Plez sexually. That's an assumption, Monica. Now it was cute and it was funny when Bishop and Plez, we could see like a little flirty kind of thing going on with them on the panel sometimes, but it was cute. It was very innocent. It wasn't like anything that made us feel uncomfortable. Well, me as a viewer, it wasn't anything that made me necessarily feel uncomfortable. Okay. And if that's what they want to do, they're two very grown adults. Okay. And they're on the internet. If they want to be together, clearly there has to be some legwork for them to see each other in person for this to work out. Okay. So some flights have to happen. Things of this nature. I know Bishop, believe is in Cali. Plez is down south. So that will have to be something they would arrange because they want it to happen. You sitting up here making it seem like it was I feel like she was assuming and putting it out there as if they were like sexually involved, like trying to create the scenario that they were sexually involved. And that's why they kind of formed some alliance. I didn't believe that. I think they were genuinely friends. And Bishop didn't like the way you were dogging his friend, and he seems to be like a stand up guy to me. Confronted Princess about schoolboy comments. Yes. So the whole Princess situation, I liked Princess, and some of her commentary, I was just like, okay, it's not like I needed it every week, right? But I liked her as a person. I felt like she did give something to the show, right? Um, but I did feel like, and this is in my opinion, I feel like there's some behind the scenes things that went on, maybe some things that were said to Monica that may have been misinterpreted, and kind of maybe she was just trying to, speak to a friend, like give some concerns, talk about certain things, and it ended up making her look kind of like a busybody. Like she was kind of like, airing people out behind closed doors. And I think Monica is trying to bring light to that in some sort of way. And this is just me in my assumptions. I have no idea. I wasn't on the panel. I have no idea. But I feel like, you know, there was something to that. I feel like there was some type of quarrel going on behind the scenes that wasn't really fully discussed. Okay. That Monica is manipulating. Okay. Um, says So Debonair blocked Bishop because he cussed him out about Plez, but Debonair said it was because he knew Bishop didn't like the racy photos he posted. So yes, I saw a video where So Debonair was saying that it wasn't because of, so they were talking about, she tried to bring up how Bishop or So Debonair blocked Bishop or vice versa, whatever the case may be. And So Debonair said, no, I think it was because he didn't really like the type of content I put up. Bishop is very, he calls himself the Bishop because he's very into, he talks about the 10, not the 10 commandments, y'all. Don't, if you go on his page, he talks about the 10 somethings. I can't remember what it is, but he's very into this. Like, this is like his way of life. He's very into God, very, very, religious, as you can see him praying on the panel sometimes. So if he got some racy photos up all the time, he probably don't want to see that on his timeline. And that's your timeline. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So I think she tried to use that to create more of a situation between those two than it really was. Okay. And then Bishop said Monica was too kind. said Monica was too kind. That's why he left. No, she said, so Monica tried to say that Bishop was saying, no, Bishop said that Monica basically will always be like sweet, saying, "Oh, you're such a little teddy bear," or whatever. But it kind of felt fake, and in one of his videos he said that. And if I would probably feel like that was fake too. Like I don't know what you look like. Your voice, you're trying to provide the proper inflection to make it feel like you care, because people can't see you and they can't see your facial expressions, and maybe put two and two together of, do you really mean all this stuff that you're saying? So it just kind of feels like, okay, are you being fake right now? Um, and then she went on to blame, saying, wow, so all of this because I didn't return a phone call. And what's funny to me is Monica tries to say that all of this is because she didn't return Plez's phone call. That's not what it is at all. Okay. No, you didn't return her phone call. But all of this is because you were unprofessional. You didn't want to return Plez's phone call because, let's just be real, you were mad that she was leaving. And you know that she was the piece of the panel that you needed to be getting all them cash apps and super chats and all that stuff that you were getting night after night. And this was definitely a money grab for her. Like, that probably was a significant piece of income for her every night, with people giving up all these super chats and things of that nature. And that was no chump change. Okay, I saw those super chats night after night, and she could have definitely afforded to give each and every one of them more than $300, $200, $300 a night. I'm just saying, my opinion. Then she tried to throw a little dig. If you go 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 42 seconds into the video, all right, she talked about how there were 23 people on Plez's live. That's a little shady. Why'd you have to say how many people was on her live? You tried it. Like, why'd you have to say that? So she's like, yeah, little 23 people that was on her live. And just basically use that as an excuse for why she's saying that, she used that as an excuse for why Monica told Plez she has to tell her when she's going live. So basically Monica was like, yeah, you should tell me when you're going live, so I can, basically trying to say she wanted her to tell her when she was going live so she could help her get more people on the live, because she had so many, a big following. But that's not the reason. In my opinion, that's not why. You were being shady by talking about the 23 people on her live. Because why did you have to bring that up? And nobody has to tell you whenever they're going live, because clearly you didn't really care for them having their own channels. You wanted everybody on, you were monopolizing their time, because when would they have time to really do any content? You would literally have to not have a full-time job to function the way Monica had things going. It was very unorganized. They said they didn't know the topics before they were getting on. It was just crazy. So she also, I have a note here, use them as excuses to keep Avatar. Um, oh, she was saying, she used uh corpse husband and Empress as excuses as to why she feels like it's okay for her to keep an avatar, because these two famous accounts apparently have avatars and they're successful. And no one's going to tell her she can't have an avatar. They can have an avatar and be successful. The difference between those two channels and you is they're professional, you're not. So don't you can't compare yourself to those individuals. You couldn't remain biased. That's the situation. You couldn't apologize. Literally, if you had have just said, you know what, I fucked up. I did. I did not do right by Plez. Or even if you don't want to admit all of that, even just be like, you know what, Plez, I'm so sorry if I made you feel uncomfortable on the panel. It's tough. I don't show my face for personal reasons, and I rely on you guys to help me. And maybe I was a little upset, more upset than I really wanted to admit, that you were leaving, and I didn't handle the situation properly. Please forgive me and move on. That's it. That's it. That's all you had to do. But yet now you still in these streets. getting rolled over. People unsubscribing left and right. I know I unsubscribed because I just can't do any more of you. So there's that. Then she talked about how she gave Plez all the money from a live that they did and $250 from her pocket via Cash App. So, you want a cookie? She was on your panel. She helped you get followers. You can do that for her birthday. I'm just saying. So, no Nobel Peace Prize for you. Sorry. Then she was like, how did you get monetized? Okay, so I get it. You did have a large following. So you did contribute to them being successful. And a lot of them did say that they appreciated you helping them. But most of them had, I know Bishop had his own channel already. Plez says she had a channel, but just wasn't doing anything with it. I know Schoolboy started her channel after being on the show. And I remember when Schoolboy was on there for the first time, where she had called in and you were and Monica was like forming the panel and things like that. And I remember when I remember Schoolboy was in her apartment and they were talking about Giselle and how she knew somebody from the bank that Giselle would go to when she was in Baltimore, and she made sure that, Pastor Brian allegedly, all this is allegedly because just in case I'm remembering it wrong, she knew she had a family member that worked there allegedly that knew about the child support payments and how she wanted to make sure he ain't missed no pay. So I remembered her from that, and I think from there, that was when Monica was like, get her on the show, because this was when they were reporting on Potomac, and I guess she felt like she had some insight so she could help her. Then at the 40-minute 17-second mark, Monica tried to downplay Plez's lawyer skills when blindsiding her with legal documents on the spot. So she's basically like, you're a lawyer, you should be able to handle all this stuff. Lawyers do a lot of research, okay? Let's be clear. Their jobs are full of research. So if you're giving me something in the midst of a live that I've never seen, and you want me to dissect this right now and tell you, I'm a lawyer, not Albert Einstein genius. Give me a second. I'm just saying. Like, that really was so tiring, her continuing to talk about this girl and her lawyering skills. Like, I mean, damn, she's not Johnny Cochran, but she's definitely smart. You can tell that. Okay. Then she talked about so Debonair and his praise of Plez, which people talked about, which Plez said in herself that she was uncomfortable with, but her and Debonair had a conversation about it, and they were all good. So I don't even know why Monica is bringing it up, because she's trying to make it seem like people were so uncomfortable that, it just really was such a huge thing. And here's my thing. Plez can't control if somebody's saying something nice about her, or if they like her and they want to praise her. Granted, I would probably be a little uncomfortable too if someone went on and on and on and on about me, because I mean, goddamn, all right, thanks, I'm great and all that, but Lord have mercy, now you making me blush a little beyond repair. I can't. So they talked about that. So for her to bring that back up, I just felt it was irrelevant to me. Then she was talking about how Princess was telling her schoolboy's business and talking about Princess trying to get her identity, saying Princess saw her arm. Now, here's my thing. Somebody that goes to the far lengths that the avatar has gone to make sure nobody sees her, I don't know about somebody's arm. I mean, I wasn't there. Allegedly, she's saying that Princess is saying that she saw her arm, and there's no way, because she, basically got the Taj Mahal in front of the cameras in her house. I mean, I don't know. For you to go that far to make sure nobody can see you, I don't know if anybody's seeing an arm, a toe, an eyeball. I don't know. She seemed like she real pressed to make sure nobody see her. You would think she was the president of the United States for real, and just, living her life in these YouTube streets, trying to, be in the darkness. But whatever, do you, boo-boo. And she was, so basically, I feel like she was just trying to she was saying, Princess was trying to pit Schoolboy against Monica in some kind of way, which I thought was interesting because what would that really do? I don't know. Allegedly. Okay. Uh so then she talked about Plez saying that verbally she would do the Fridays. She would do one day a week. So here's my thing. Riddle me this, Batman. If Plez says she was going to do every Friday, then why would she be so concerned about you calling her back for y'all to discuss what was going to happen? And you admittedly said, so she's mad because I didn't call her back. So clearly you didn't call her back because she must have never agreed right off top to do the Fridays. It definitely had to have been that you guys were thinking about it together. She was thinking about it and you were supposed to follow up with her to get her final verdict, and you never did. And you probably never did because she wasn't really that interested, which she did say. She was like, honestly, after thinking about it, I wasn't going to do it. So there's that. Then she talked about how it takes people a long time to get subs. Could have given she agrees she probably could have given her a proper send off. And then she was saying there were deleted comments that she didn't show. Deleted comments saying she didn't show what was deleted, no before or after Plez did. Oh, she was saying that Plez was talking about deleted comments, but didn't show the before and afters, which is a lie because Plez did show the before and after. She showed the comment section, and she said she knew that this was going on, so she was more prepared by she watched the comments as she's on the show, and she was screenshotting what it looked like, and then she would screenshot once it was deleted, and she showed the before and afters in her video. If you go to all about the replay, you can see the full replay of Plez's video. Okay. And you can see the full replay of when Plez got on the live for the last time for on All About the Tea with Monica. Okay. So you can go back and see all of this stuff yourself, all about the replay. I'm going to go ahead and give you that little tidbit of information there. They had all of it there. Her farewell address, to Plez on her live with the pastor was basically a mockery. And also she gave Plez's real name and place of work on the video, which I thought was tacky. Why would you do that? What was the necessity behind that? So that right there lets you know she is completely jealous of this woman. Like grade A hater. Okay. Because why did you have to go that far? That was just really trifling. You put this lady's government name out there. We didn't know. I don't know Plez from a can of paint. I just see her on the live or whatever. Granted, now that I know her name, I'm not going to go and look her up. I don't need to know where she lives. I don't need to know. I mean, I feel like the woman has been through enough with this. She tried to step out. I feel bad. She tried to step out of her comfort zone and do something different. And then you have this hater person behind this avatar now bullying you, basically, because she is a hater. And it's just really messed up. Teacup members didn't want to see her flourish. She was saying how, Plez was saying that. Then she was basically talking about how for the marketing campaign for the lipstick, she was trying to help Plez. Plez talked about in her video how she had already been, that's something that's already been in her mind. That wasn't something that, I just felt like, in my opinion, Monica tried to make it seem like that was her, like somehow her way of helping Plez. Like she was somehow I don't know, like that somehow was she was a part of that, which no. Moving on. She talked about how, then I remember Plez talking about how Monica didn't really praise her getting monetized. everybody was talking about how they had gotten monetized. Plez was, I think, one of the first ones to get monetized from being on the show. And again, she didn't want all the attention from it. She didn't even want to really be like out about it. Like, people can see how many subscribers you have. Everybody knows on YouTube that once you get 1,000 subscribers, now you can become monetized, right? And somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments if that's not the case. But Plez got monetized, and I think there may have been a little bit of side jealousy over it, whatever the case may be. But I think that if everybody had really, really created that family atmosphere like they said they wanted to have, or they kept talking about on the show, then I think the show could have went for the duration. Like if it had been organized. Like if you look at the daytime panel, All About the Tea, versus the night panel, she wasn't about to be monopolizing DJ Richie, Monique, and Buffy's time. She wasn't. And who was the other guy? I can't remember his name. But he was hilarious, by the way. He does a lot of stuff on TikTok. But anyway, she wasn't about to monopolize their time. Okay. So those lives had to be organized. They did them on certain days. It wasn't just hey, we're getting on live and we're gonna be on here for 2 hours. No. You're not about to do that to them. So you shouldn't do that to the teacups. I'm just saying. And big up in Monica putting up their cash apps and their channels wouldn't do that. Okay, yeah, she kept saying how yeah, and I was putting up their cash apps and I would put up their channels to help them get exposure and things like that. She took Plez's information down with the quickness. Okay, with the quickness when Plez obviously wasn't coming back to the channel. I just think that there's so many conspiracies out here as to why this and why that, but I still think that there is room for the avatar to do better by Plez by just simply saying, you know what, forget all of this drama. I handled this completely wrong. I am so sorry. Instead of trying to bring people on her page that frankly just validate everything nobody, let's be very clear, there are not many people, not as many people as before, that are rocking with you. So if you want your channel to survive, just apologize. A simple apology goes a long way. Okay, a long way. And I just think that the avatar made herself look super duper bad with all the stuff that she did to, and then all the backtracking and all the stuff. It's just, I wouldn't even want to work with somebody like that. It's just very treacherous. And then you have all these YouTubers, kind of giving their take, and they're trying to figure out who she is. And I really don't care who this lady is at this point. I'm just not going to watch her channel, not going to give her any views. I don't need the negativity, So for me, I don't want to figure out who she is. I really don't care. She's all about the invisible lady. That's it. Be all about your business. But I did like Plez. I loved Plez. I loved Bishop. Schoolboy, I was getting used to her. I still watch her channel too. I still like Schoolboy. Marcella was one that the nasty. I just felt like, listen, we talking about the show, we not talking about your bedroom. Okay. That was a little off-putting for me, but I've seen, Marcella, she does have, I can genuinely see that she has a good heart. I think she's just a little quirky lady, she love her husband and that's cool. But I just felt like, some of the extracurricular comments that she made, just, it didn't, you got to read the room. It didn't fit. Like a lot of people were uncomfortable by it. And I just think it was a little off-putting, some of the stuff that she was saying. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and give my little 2 cents on All About the tea, which is now all about the messiness. And, just give my opinion. I will be coming on and giving commentary for all the shows. I love all of anything Bravo. So I'm going to start doing my own commentary on each of the shows. I'm actually going to post a video tonight on the Married to Medicine reunion. So come back and join my channel. I also, you'll find holistic remedies, food recipes, different things like that, fitness videos, all that on my page. So subscribe, like, and share this video if you are one of those people following the all about the crazy. And I'll see you guys next time. Toodles.